Hey guys, welcome back. So we've got some progress going on the house. As you saw last time, we got that wall taken care of, and since then we got another wall studded up. So this is the wall that divides the house and the shop. My goal was to get this wall complete, finishing in the top, but once I got the wall all framed up, I found out that my ladder really wasn't tall enough to do that. Even on the floor up here, I would have had to stand on the very top of my step ladder to be able to get up to the peak of the roof. So I've backed off on that and decided to wait until I can get a scissor lift rented, and I can do this side as well as that side, and then I can also do some stuff with the lights and the ceiling and maybe rough in some wiring up there or whatever. But I'll save several jobs that need to be done up high to do that. So in the meantime, we're gonna move on to wiring. I've gotten a little bit started and we've still got a lot more to go, so we'll take a look at what we've got going. Here we are in the front bedroom, and this is where I've gotten started a little bit. I wanted to do some things, going through and picking all this stuff out for a house. This is where probably having an electrician would be nice, because they just kind of go through and they know how much light a room needs, or where exactly, just to put outlets as a standard. But when you do it yourself, you second guess yourself on everything. So my wife likes can lights. I've never been around a lot of can lights, so I wasn't sure how much light we were going to use or going to need. So I wanted to get this put together, get the can lights put in, and see if we thought that was going to be enough light. So this is a 14 by 15 foot room, and we've got 4 6-inch can lights, and I just temporarily wired them up and put the lights in there. These are LED, like they call them retrofit kits or whatever, but basically they're just LED lights that go in the cans. And as it turns out, it was actually a little bit cheaper that way. I can talk about more of that in a minute, but the main thing was to get these lights on and see what kind of light it provided, and it looks like it's going to do a good job. We're going to have these 4 lights, and then I'm also going to put a ceiling fan box in the center, so we'll have a ceiling fan probably with a light kit on it as well. But as far as wiring that we've done, so we brought our home run in to this box, and I'm going to wire each bedroom on its own circuit. I'm going to put the lights and the plugs on a 20 amp circuit, and I think that'll be good. It's a good way for me to stay organized with where I'm running power. So I've gotten the home run pulled in, and then I've roughed in all of our outlets, you can see. And that's another thing that we've gone back and forth on, continually second guessing everything. Whenever you're building the house and you're going to live in it, you look at all kinds of things different. It's like, are we gonna put a table there? Do we want it off to the outlet off to the side, or do we want it right in the middle underneath it? Where's the bed gonna go? So we've probably spent an exorbitant amount of time deciding on where we're gonna put these outlets, but I think we got a good idea. We've also got good help. Mr. Boone is here with me today. I try to bring him along whenever I can, and he'll be pretty good, other than just asking me to go outside all the time. But we're gonna get to work putting on this ceiling fixture, or the ceiling box for the light fixture or fan. I can't talk today. And then move on to the other bedroom, get some can lights put up there, and then just go as far as we can today, see what we can get done. So working on putting in this ceiling fan box, and naturally I've got blocking here between the joists, and it just so happens to be right in the center of the room. So I guess ordinarily you could just cheat off to the side, but I've been warned about not having the ceiling fan right in the middle of the room. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim the bottom of this block and see if I can get this to still go up in there. I think that'll be fine. So I'm running, unfortunately, pretty expensive 12-3 wire in here. If I can get it in here. We want the ceiling fan itself and the light on separate switches. So running the 3 wire for the light switches, and then the 12 because I'm doing this all on a 20 amp breaker, and so I don't think it's really kosher to go from 12 down to 4 on something like this. So I'm gonna keep it 12 wire all the way through. I probably could have used the plastic style box without this spreader bar, but I think this was basically the same price. I think they were both $10 or $11, and this one's supposed to be rated to hold like, I think, a 100-pound fan or something like that. So I figured a little more rigidity wouldn't hurt anything. So now I can land this one in our box. Before I go too far, I'm gonna label this one as 2 fan, so I know later. I'll get this pulled through here. I got plenty, it looks like. Let's see about stapling it to the stud over here. Sometimes it's easier to do from the other side. Yeah. And I'll get these tidied up on up the rest of the way, and we're ready to move on to the next bedroom, I think. So this room's gonna be a little bit different. It's shaped a little different. We're still 14 feet long, but we're only about 9 feet wide. So the 4 cans with the ceiling fan are gonna be a little bit overkill. So what we're gonna do is we're planning on this being a bedroom probably. So we would put the bed back against that wall. And then this end, you've got your closet there, and then there will probably be dressers or something, I don't know. But anyway, so for the fan, we definitely want a fan, but we're gonna take and center the fan over this area of the bed part of the room, and then take 2 can lights and put them up here. So basically I'll put the 2 can lights, and then whatever's left of the room, I'll center the fan lengthwise on that. And that might make a little more sense as I get going on it. After we get those up, then I'm gonna start running wire for the outlets. I've got a lot of the outlet boxes put up already. That was from when we were trying to decide where to put them. But I was gonna show you a couple little tools that I made here to work on this. So basically just templates. And this, I painted it red so I'd know it wasn't just any scrap of wood. But basically I just cut that to where I wanted the top of my outlets to go. So I can just set it in the wall, make a mark, and you can see where that mark is. That's the top of my outlet. It gives me a little something that makes sure it's square and hits the same height. And then along the same lines, I did the same thing with this board here. So it's cut to the right height for where we want our wires. And basically I set that in the wall, line up the 2x4 and mark it. And that makes sure that I'm centered and at the same height on all those. So that's worked pretty well. It's made marking those out and everything pretty quick. And then I ended up also making a little wire dolly. So a while back when wire was hard to come by, I found a 1,000-foot roll and decided I better go ahead and buy it because I knew I'd be needing quite a bit of wire. And that thing's pretty heavy. I don't know what it weighs, but probably 60 or 70 pounds, I would guess. So I made just a little stand out of a couple scraps of wood, stuck one of my pipe clamps through there for it to spin on, and then ratchet strapped it to my 2-wheel dolly, and that's making it a lot easier. I can go park it wherever I need to go, and then I can just pull wire off of it. So that's working pretty good. But we'll get started on putting these can lights up and our ceiling fan and then outlets. Trying to lay out the can lights and already came up with an issue. So in order for this to come out semi-symmetric, this can light over here needs to go basically right on that 2x12, and that's a problem. So this area is not quite wide enough to hold a can light. So this would be the next closest option. Well, if I do that and try to make this symmetric at all as far as spacing along this wall, basically I would have one can light here and one can light there, more or less. So that's not going to work. So what I'm going to try to do, what I think I can do, is this measures 11 inches in between here, and the can itself will fit in there, but one stud or one floor joist goes here, one floor joist goes here, and the most narrow that these will collapse is about 13 inches. But basically how this works is these are two brackets that slide in and out of each other. So I think what I can do is pop these out, cut them off shorter, maybe get them down to 11 inches, and we'll see if we can get it to fit in there. Alright, so before it would go down to 13 1/4, and I need to go to somewhere around 11. So I'm going to cut about 2.5 inches off of this. We'll see if that works. It's not a real precise measurement thing. Looks like about 10 3/4, so that should work. See if we can get this put back together. So to get my light lined up where I want it, I went ahead and put some marks on the floor joists here. And I think this is actually going to work a lot better with these shortened up. These little nail tabs won't move around near as much. And then to set the distance from the wall this way, they've got a little notch that you can measure to. And then once you get it where you want it, there's a little set screw here to tighten down to keep it from moving. Well, I skipped ahead a little bit and got some of the wiring done. It's gotten a little colder out, so we got the sweatshirt on, but I got the ceiling fan box put up here. So yet again, we ran into an issue with being able to center it. Center of the room actually is the center of that floor joist that it's right next to. So in this case, didn't have a very good option for notching that out or anything. So we went ahead and just shoved it right next to it. It'll be just a hair off, but I don't know that it'll be too terribly noticeable. Got our 12-3 wire run to it. And then this is, you can see our can lights we got put up. So the spacing that I ended up landing on was from this wall out to the lights is the same 42 inches that we used in the other bedroom. But coming from this wall over, obviously I wasn't able to do the 42 inches. So I kind of took the width of the room and we were handicapped a little bit by where this light could land. So just a nice even number that I was able to come up with to fit in there was 29 inches. We were able to hit 29 inches from this wall on this light. So that ended up putting about 46, 48 inches between them, which is pretty good spacing for that. But then As far as the length on this ceiling fan box goes, so from the center line of these lights to this wall, I just split that distance in half, and I think that'll give us a pretty good little triangle of light in this room. So now I'm gonna move on. Oh, let's tone that down a little bit. Now I'm gonna move on and start running wire for the outlets. I've got the wiring for all the lights done, and that'll have this bedroom wrapped up. And as easy as that, we've got all the wiring to the outlets put in. So we've got it strung through there. We hit a couple of outlets that are facing to the outside of the room just for convenience and to save some wire. But we've got all the outlets put together, and I think that will do it for Boone and me for today. So thanks for watching. Come back next time. Maybe we'll be working on the laundry room. We've got the bedroom, or I'm sorry, bathroom, kitchen. We got a pantry to do. All kinds of stuff yet to come. So come see us next time. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. What's the matter, Boone? Are you want to go outside? I think that's what that means.